Europe.
I think it's going to be great for both parties.
Michigan man held in stabbing spree.
1 count of terrorism, 11 counts of assault with intent to murder.
Getting food to Gaza.
Israel says it will establish secure routes through the war zone.
Good morning, I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, President Trump says he struck a new trade deal with the European Union. Tariffs on goods from Europe will rise, but CBS's Weijia Jiang says not by as much as the president was threatening.
We've reached a deal.
President Trump announced he and the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, struck a new deal between the U.S. and the EU.
I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games.
It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Trump said the tariff rate for EU's 27 member countries would be 15% for most imports, including vehicles. The EU has agreed to purchase U.S. military equipment, $750 billion of American energy, and increase its investment into the U.S. by $600 billion. And there's good news for U.S. companies that sell products to the EU.
All of the countries will be opened up to trade with the United States at zero tariff.
In Scotland, ahead of a meeting with Britain's Prime Minister, President Trump said today he's disappointed Russia's Vladimir Putin has ignored a Trump time frame to talk peace with Ukraine.
I'm going to reduce that 50 days that I gave him to a lesser number because I think I already know the answer what's going to happen.
CBS's Scott MacFarlane has more on the domestic issue that followed Trump overseas.
The president continued to face questions about Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, you got to be kidding with that.
Members of both parties have called for more transparency, including a bipartisan push to force the Department of Justice to release the files related to Epstein. The Justice Department has also not released any details about what Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche learned during his 2-day interview with Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell's defense lawyer says Maxwell answered all questions and did not invoke her Fifth Amendment rights. Last week, the president didn't rule out a pardon for Maxwell.
There's no word on the motive for a stabbing attack at a Traverse City, Michigan Walmart that injured 11 people. CBS's Lana Zach reports the suspect, 42-year-old Brandon Gilley, was stopped by other shoppers.
Julia Martell was at Walmart with a friend shopping for diapers and formula when the chaos unfolded. At first, she thought she was just witnessing an intense argument.
There was just some guy shoving another guy in my head until he started to kind of face me and run in my direction. And that's when I saw the knife in his hand. I ran and booked it down the aisleway. I dropped everything that was in my hand.
Martell says as she made her way to the exit, she saw several people with stab wounds, including at least one elderly person slumped over in a motorized shopping cart. Then police swarmed in.
A motive has not yet been determined.
Grand Traverse County Sheriff Michael Shea told us he was impressed by the people who intervened before law enforcement even arrived.
They were actually utilizing numbers and their available resources to get this individual in a position where he couldn't get away.
The FAA is investigating what happened on an American Airlines flight in Denver after an aborted takeoff. Here's CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Passengers on American Airlines Flight 3023 evacuating on emergency exit flights as flames can be seen around the landing gear of the Boeing 737 MAX Saturday afternoon.
So that's not good.
Mark Turkis was on board.
Some people started panicking.
He says the evacuation began after passengers started to see smoke coming up from the plane.
Most of the people evacuated safely, except a few people who decided to take luggage with them.
Now to the Middle East. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer tells us Israel is now pausing attacks in some areas of Gaza.
Aid trucks are on the move after a sudden reversal by Israel. It announced it would enable more food and supplies to enter the strip after pictures of hungry Gazans and malnourished children shocked the world, prompting international condemnation. There have been airdrops, too. Yesterday, Israel, Jordan, and the UAE parachuted pallets of humanitarian aid into the ruins of Gaza, but just a fraction of what's needed. Even though the military says it will pause the fighting in heavily populated areas during the day now, still, there are reports of people being shot trying to get food.
4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love,